Hey everyone, welcome back to another review with everythingicafe. Today we're going to be reviewing an app called Kayak. You're probably familiar with the commercials for Kayak. Kayak is a travel website that will help you find flights, hotels, car rentals, track your flights, and this app is quite good. I've been using it to actually plan a trip of my own to Hawaii, hopefully this summer, and I've kind of used that trip planning to experiment this app. So let's start with the first thing here you see is flights. So on the top, you just go ahead and click on the flights and it'll bring up the search bar. So let's say I go ahead and click on search from to. So let's say I'm going to leave from current location. So here's some things around me. Let's say Philadelphia. And let's say I want to go to Honolulu, right? So I start typing that and it'll auto-populate. And let's say I want to leave just for the sake of putting anything in, the 12th of May and come back the 19th of May. Okay, so you have that. This is round trip, so this will actually find, if you can see a little closer, this will find flights from and to the same depart and return destinations. So I'm going to go ahead and click on search here. So what you'll notice is the left, that same column now becomes a filter bar, and all the available flights, prices, times shows up on the right hand side. Say I want to click on one of these, I can get the flight information as a drop down here, where it's leaving from, where it's going to, and at what times, and all this detail about the flight. I can book it right from here, or I can hit email, and that will actually put all this information in an email that I can send off to myself. Okay. Also, if I want to filter on some things, let's say I only want non-stop flights. So if I do that and hit go, notice there's nothing showing up because there's no non-stop flights from Philly to Honolulu, obviously. I can also choose the airports here that I want to lay over at. So say I'm not a fan of Los Angeles, I could choose not to lay over there, and all of this stuff will filter accordingly. Back to this search menu, I can also do something called multi-city. This will actually let me do a depart and arrive. So let's say I want to depart again from Philly and I want to arrive in Honolulu. But and let's say again I want to do this on May 12th. But let's say in Hawaii I plan to take a small plane to another island and then come home from that island. So let's say I hit depart, and now if I'm in Hawaii, let's say I am in Kahului. I don't even know how to say this, but this is another island. And I want to arrive back near me in Philadelphia, and I want to arrive back on the 19th. So I can hit that, hit done. I can choose, one traveler, two travels, economy, or more, and then search. And Kayak will automatically, you'll see it searching on the bottom here, pull up flights where the from and to destinations are Philly to Honolulu, and the return is from the other island back to Philadelphia. Pretty cool. So you see all that is here. And if you look at some of this detail here, you can see, the legs of the trip there. Okay, it'll tell you how long it is. So if you want a shorter trip, you can find it by that preference. So flights are very cool. Going over to hotels. So again, you could choose the city. So let's say I want Honolulu. I think it was actually chosen. And the same dates. Let's say 2 guests, and I'm going to hit search. So what this will do is bring up all the hotels in that area. You can see there's a ton here by default. If I want, I can change the price by this slider here. So let's say I only want maximum $250 per night. I can kind of get around that range. I can do certain brands, and let's say I only want 4 or 5-star hotels. So I hit done. Now any hotel that I see is going to be in that price range and 4 and 5 stars. Pretty cool. So let's say we click on one of these. So I'm going to go and click on Waikiki Beach Marriott Resort. What you'll see here is a list of prices for the time, as well as an overview. So this is what the hotel puts in. Photos. So some have more, some have less. You can swipe right through here. And reviews. And these reviews are just kind of short reviews that you can click on a button here that will take you to the full review. So let's hit done. I can hit show on map, and that will actually turn this whole thing into a map. Very cool. And you can see there's even some 3D stuff going on right here. So let's go back to view as list. Okay. Now let's say I actually want to book one of these. So I just go ahead and click most likely on the cheapest one. I would hit book now. what you'll see is, again, this will pull up a screen telling you that it's taking you to whatever website it is that had the cheapest price. That's Kayak's claim to fame here. And you can go ahead and see the different rooms and rates, what they're offering. So you can see here that that cheap room that we saw, changes on 5/15. All right, so on to cars. What you'll notice here is that the dates are already carried over. Actually, the pickup and drop-off destinations are already carried over as well. If we wanted, we can actually change those, let's say, to accommodate the situation I talked about earlier, where I'm going to arrive on one island and leave on another. So picking up in Honolulu, leave in another. In this case, it doesn't make much sense, right, because it's islands. But, if you're in Europe and you're going to arrive in Italy and leave out of Britain, might make a little more sense there. But you just hit search once you find the times, the pickup and drop off, and then you get your list of cars, price per day, and miles per gallon. Again, you get like a map of where it is. You could book it right from here. Really neat, really fluid interface. It's almost fun to use as you're booking your trip. So then some other features that the app has. On the bottom here, you'll see this is a map view, basically, of from where you are to all these destinations. The app will actually give you price for flights. So this view will pick up your current location, find so many destinations. So in my case, 149, and I can actually click on one of them. So let's say I want to go to Indonesia, and you can see there's flights from 1530. So if I click on that, it'll zoom in. I can click on the little red tag here, and it'll just bring me right back and say from Philadelphia to that airport. So obviously you might need more than one stop, and then if I go ahead and click on that, you can see everything has 2 stops. So just another kind of neat way that you could say, okay, based on where I am now, if I wanted to travel to any of these places, how much would it cost? And if you zoom in far enough, you can kind of see that. Okay. Then there's a flight tracker, the next one down. If you have any booked flights, or if you have a flight number, you can go ahead and click Add. So you get these choices: flight number, departing airport, arriving airport. And I haven't used this yet, but I assume it'll be just as nice as everything else. And then on the bottom here, you can actually mail your email receipts to trips@kayak.com, and they'll save your trips in this space on the app. So this is something else I'm looking forward to actually using. I do want to try to book my trip through this app, and hope everything works out, but I'd like to see if I can try to get my trips working. Last thing with the app, on the bottom left, you have a little settings here. So you can log in with a Kayak account or a Facebook account. You can put Kayak site here, United States obviously for me, but if you live in another country, you can choose that down here. Currency is able to be chosen, preferred temperature unit, about, and legal. And that is about it for the app. I hope everyone enjoyed it. This app gets a 10 out of 10. I loved using it. It's fun to use, fun to book your trips. Makes everything really easy all in one place. And again, for that, I give it a 10 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye-bye.